unfinished cart paths. Right now, as it starts to rain, we get into July and August. The cart paths wash out. Nothing he can do there to prevent what's going to happen. We get mud up in the wheel wells. Lloyd knows the story. We wind up with rust issues. We've had all kinds of issues over the years. So the importance of, once we get to the stage of redoing the greens, we must, in my opinion, finish the cart paths. Finish cart paths throughout the golf course. And that's going to help with our expense too in the future. But this is what I propose. Look it over. If you got any questions, email me and we can go through it. But I think that's a safe number. Like I said,
we're going to keep the rounds. The cost of the rounds the same.
Well, we'll go up on the rack rate.
Okay.
And the advertised rate via internet.
Okay.
But I have no plans at this time to go up on the resident rate or the group or league rate.
Okay.
I'll keep that the same for this year.
Okay.
Unless you guys have other thoughts.
You and Mike were doing the budgets. You okay with that, Mike?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Actually, I do. What are the current rack rates?
Currently, it's 60, 50, 65, 50, 35.
Summer.
That's our summer rate.
Season 140, 110. So what I'd look to do is maybe go to 155, 125. Because Corkscrew's going to be over 200. Raptor's going to be somewhere around 180 to 200. I think we on a rack rate we can go up to. Now we don't sell a lot of those, but we sell some. Mm-hmm. But we're able to take our discounting when we do internet. We can discount off that rate, even if it's like 10%.
Yeah.
You're still better than the other ones in the area where they can go.
Right. Or we had instances in February and March where we actually held close to rack. We were like $5 off rack rate. Like we were at 145 or 140 or 130, 135. And people were paying it.
Well, I was in there one day, and the one guy said $140, and the guy that was with him said, yeah, but where else you spending your money now? Which was kind of nice.
Well, if all of our costs are going up, we have to increase the cost of green fees. It's pretty simple.
Yeah.
I just think sometimes there might be opportunities for us shoulder season, because it seemed like even this year.
It's getting longer.
Yeah, when did we? About like mid-April we started dropping.
Yeah, we dropped April 1 to 110, and then
Well, there was the big drop.
April 15 was like 80, and then we're now at 65.
Yeah. I just remember there was a point where I was looking and I was thinking, man, because we were charging, like Fort Myers Country Club was really close to what we were, the rack rate. And I was just thinking that doesn't equate out.
Well,
I'm just saying that maybe there are some opportunities on the shoulder. But
you're right there, and I'll tell you a little bit about. So years ago, like season was more expanded, and then when the golf industry constricted, season became more like 120 days, 90 days. So we might be able to extend out full seasonal rack rate into April.
Through April. Yeah.
I think we should, Jeff, only because
Definitely.
I think last year showed people that April and May were not bad down here. And I
Yeah.
think people are now staying longer, and there are more people living here. So let's try next year to push it to the end of April.
We could try that.
And if
I mean,
you're
we have the ability
You can always go down.
right.
to reduce it. If we go 155 and it's 155 April 15th and there's 40 people on the tee sheet, we know we got to drop it.
Right.
But,
Let's try it and see.
well, I agree. I mean, the golf economy at one time was this, and now it's become this again. So it's time to this is the whole plan. Like, okay, here's our ability to make some money, pay forward, get this bond down, get the golf course redone, have what we want, which is a premier public facility. And that's what we're shooting for. That's why we have guys cleaning clubs and bag drop-off and everything that we have, because we want it to be a premier public facility. So this is our time to, as they say, make hay while the sun shines.
Absolutely.
So, okay.
Okay. And you guys will get this online, remember you had trouble getting into the,
Budget, you mean put it,
Yeah, so I'm going to send him tomorrow,
okay,
and we're still working.
Okay.
There were some issues with,
getting into the spreadsheet.
yeah, the whole, yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah, that only take me about an hour.
I don't have this.
I got this copy for file. What does this say?
Which one is it?
I don't, these are checks.
Your budget, did you win?
That should be 20, right?
Yeah, there's,
Pass it down.
There.
Thank you.
this one's
Digging around on this.
Can you find it?
Yeah. Just a little box.
references,
Okay.
top of it's last year. This one's
Okay, John, your turn.
back in 2016. It's just, this, look at
That's
this.
the numbers, not the
Yeah,
dates.
don't look at the dates.
I'll give you mine at the end. Chuck, you just want this at the end and for file?
Yeah, yeah, and you got anything there that goes into the
Sure.
general fund, the operating fund?
Yes, I do.
Okay, good, those are the things I need, for sure. Thank you.
I'll email those to you. They're not on paper, they're just, well, this is
would
gonna be a lease.
That would be perfect. You just shoot me the stuff
Shoot.
that belongs in the general fund? and-
Gotcha.
Okay, cool.
All right, so in front of you is a line-by-line financials of the preliminary budget for the 2021 fiscal year for the golf course, and we'll just go through it line by line. So basically, most of this is on a 3% increase. Some of it's higher. We're talking to my vendors and my reps about what's going on, what they know is going to happen, what they foresee happening. Cost of goods is rising right now at a crazy rate. Hopefully, it's going to come back down. I know there's a lot of things that could help with that, rising interest rates, but I mean, that's way out of my league. So I'll just go over this with you. So with the alarm, it's actually going to go up $16 a year. No big deal. The annuals is just a 3% increase because anything I get that has to be shipped is going to go up. Transportation shipping costs is going up across the board.
Right.
There's nothing I can do about it. So it's only $115 annually. Number 3, association dues and fees. That line item, just an extra $800 for Crosby's HR training that we've spoken about.
Right.
That's how much we priced it out at. So,
Because Crosby did all that with the changing to the other company, and I really want her to be more well-versed in all that. And they have so she's already looked at courses to take, so.
bridge maintenance, there's no change. We've talked about this over the years, the last time I repaired. If there's going to be a repair, we're just going to repair it. It's that simple. We don't know what it's, I don't want to throw 10,000 in there and it looks like we're jacking the budget up and it's not, we're not going to spend it.
Right.
Building maintenance, I do have to increase that this year by like $2,000. We got to fix the room on the chemical building. If you want to come take a look at it out back, we have to fix it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. And we're going to just put a tin roof on. We're going to take all the old wood off and just put tin, some more plywood and tin, so it'll last a lot longer.
Okay.
And that's going to cost about $2,000. And I say that now. I mean, by the time we get to October, who knows what the price is. But I feel comfortable now with that number,
Okay.
looking at, at prices online. Chemicals, same thing, just another increase of cost. Fertilizers are gonna go up, themselves. Chemicals are gonna go up more so in shipping, the cost of shipping. And certain chemicals I have told are gonna go up, but they're not gonna affect us too much. Number 7, contract labor. Talking to my contractors, that's what they see is about a 10% increase in the cost of them doing business with everybody. Some people are now requiring more deposits up front, albeit small. They want some kind of commitment. That's number 7. Cart path fill, that's basically shipping. I wrote that on there, $500 due to the rising cost of shipping. I can't even get cart path fill right now. They won't ship it to me because there's not enough drivers. They're only shipping out greens mix, top dressing sand, the stuff that people absolutely have to keep everybody happy. The electricity to the maintenance building is actually going to decrease by about $300 annually. We've replaced some lights on the outside with LED lights the past year, 2 years. And it's really helped with the cost. So, employee enrollment, that line item we don't need anymore. That was for TriNet. It's just only $232, so that can come off the lease completely. Number 11, equipment lease number 112, that's not going to change. We're still in the middle of that lease, so that'll continue for a couple more years. Number 12, the lease 304, this is a sprayer that was paid off last year, so that can be taken off the budget or hidden. I know Jeff likes to keep them in there hidden for a couple of years after the fact that they're paid. Equipment lease Toro B, that's composed, number 13, composed of leases 102, 103, and the interest portion of lease 303. Lease 303 has been paid off, and leases 102 and 103 have been, they will be superseded by lease 115, which is one of these leases that we're getting now.
Okay.
Number 14, equipment lease, it was called John Deere 005 originally. It's a workman lease now. This lease is going to end this year. We've been on a we went on a month-to-month basis with this to get this piece of equipment into this package this year because we just had so many leases staggered as like every year. And then we just went on a month-to-month basis with them to bring it into this year's package. So that's what's going on, number 14. The number 15, equipment lease GE Toro Capital, that's just our IT support for our irrigation computer. It's going to go up $50 or $10 a month or $5 a month.
Okay.
No big deal there. Equipment lease proposed Toro D, that's being superseded by lease 114, which is another one of these, the other one. And it's actually going to go down $1,200 or $100 a month per payment. So that's good.
Okay.
$1,200 annually we're saving there. Equipment rental. I just wanted to put an extra $2,000 in there. We had to rent that bulldozer. The cost of rentals is going up extremely high. Just to have an extra rental in there, I'm budgeted for one. I wanted to put two, so that's a number that can easily be taken out. It doesn't have to be in there. That's a
Which one?
the equipment rental. I increased it by. I wanted to just increase it by $2,000 in case we had to.
It's 1,000 now, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So that's a very arbitrary number. What's that?
3,000?
Yeah. And we don't have to. Like I said, that number there is no big deal. But just for what we had to do this year. Number 18, equipment repair. That's basically Dave's budget for my equipment manager. I want to increase that to $3,600 per year. That's an increase of $6,200 because everything's going up for him. Oil, parts, everything. And he's being affected by it probably the most, down there in the shop. Everything he buys is being affected. So, he's been harping on me for a couple of years, and he's been making do. So, fertilizer, not a big increase, but that's an increase to basically cover some shipping and some increase in fertilizer. That's all that is. That's not any extra fertilizer. I didn't budget for any extra chemicals, any extra fertilizer than what I've been doing over the years.
Which you need.
But exactly what I need. But it's just an increase of cost. There's nothing extra in here that I've other than what you've seen on the equipment rental so far. Fuels and lubricants at $4 a gallon we budgeted at, so that volatility is built in there. I'm fine with that. The way I've been checking it monthly, according to the prices, I'm okay with that. I feel even if something were to happen, around Christmas time and went up and spiked on us, I feel comfortable with that. Fuel sales, I have this, for some reason it looks like it shouldn't have to be a plus to our budget, not a decrease. It looks like that's our fuel sales to the to like the HOA, when Alex gets fuel. I think even Jeff, I don't know if we bill Jeff, I don't know.
We don't get gas anymore.
Oh, yeah, that's right, they don't even get gas anymore. But I know Alex, he has to write down his fuel. We need to, we don't need to pay for the gas, but we need to look at that in the budget.
Certainly sounds like it'd be a revenue.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Yeah. Golf, but it might be built into something else. It might be, that's why I'm not 100% sure on it, but we'll look into
We'll
it.
look at it, okay.
Golf service, no change. What's included in the golf service is tee markers, bunker rakes, cooler liners, coolers, tee box, little, tee caddies, stuff like that. All your soaps for your ball washers, your cooler stands, your bathroom stuff for the bathrooms, your toilet paper and tissue and stuff like that we use. I don't see any change in that.
But you appear to be way under that right now, right?
Yeah, we're right now, I don't know about way under, but it was a,
On this thing I got here, it's like $7,000.
oh, and that's because what's budgeted in there is a new set of tee markers. So that won't be like that next year. The new set of tee markers is gonna run about $4,000. So that was in there. We didn't get them this year because we just kind of, that's what that was.
Next year.
We'll get them in this October. We'll get all the
October,
tee
okay.
markers, yeah.
And we get new flags every year.
We always get new flags every year. And that's also in there too. That nut is usually around 1,200 for the flags and sticks.
What those flags though, I remember we used to take them in every night, but we don't do that anymore, right? Jeff? Do we take
Yeah, the flags stay out.
Yeah.
I'm just, because they said it used to get damaged because they took them in every night.
You need to throw them in the lake.
Yeah.
They haven't done that in a long time.
I mean,
But I mean, do you see a difference in the way they look?
from leaving them out to.
Putting them back in and out of the cart? Every night?
I mean, you're gonna get dings when you stack them all together, and it's gonna be in that one neck area where they lean together,
Right.
But I haven't noticed. Have you heard any? Do you notice it? Hey, ask yourself that. Do you know? I don't, because I don't when I put.
No.
Right,
No.
No.
I just wondered if it's actually better. There's not as many things.
Is it? Yeah. Well, it's nice because the only thing it does is really save us time. It's one less thing in the way. Somebody can run over, break. Mower's got to get off. You got to get out, take it out. Mow. That's minimal time, maybe 30 minutes over the whole course of the morning.
Yeah.
No, not really. Just the only thing it is from a vandalism perspective, getting chucked in the pond.
Jeff, they haven't thrown it in.
I lost one recently. It was like a month. Yeah.
We're on TV, don't bring that up, people watching.
Yeah, I lost one recently, about a month ago.
No, we haven't had any.
We talked about that last year or the year before. If there's any damage to the course, we should charge that back to the general fund. We talked about that as a board, and we agreed to that.
Yeah.
Well, we haven't had any flags go missing.
We haven't had any damage.
Yeah, the last bit of damage I can remember was the 16 teeth.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
That's
that's
right.
not a big expense.
But still,
it's just a
here,
point.
here, it'll build up.
I'll bring it up to Bill. How do you want me to do that, Chuck?
Well, if, document what you have for damage, whatever costs are related to remediating it. If we know who might have caused the damage, then we can actually write a demand letter for reimbursement. And if they choose not to, they ignore us, we can take additional legal steps up to placing a recovery on their property tax bill. We can lien them for that. So, well, I'll talk that through with Tony a little bit more, but yeah,
Well, but
we can
talked
usually get
about-
results that
What
way.
we talked about was a general situation where, such as this, I mean, I know this is a minor one, but a flag disappears overnight. It's either a resident, it's a resident's kid, or it's a guest of a resident, somebody that was allowed in here, and the golf course shouldn't have to pay for that.
Check them out.
And where this came from, I think we did have some major, I think we talked about this after we had somebody drive onto some grass. Of course, we can't necessarily find them, even sometimes when we have you've followed tire prints and found people, it's very difficult to try to get anything out of them or prosecute. So as a board, I don't remember who was on, but anyway, we talked
Do you
about.
remember charging the general fund?
Right, to charge the general fund because, it's not really fair for the golf course to have to pay for this damage.
Something that happened from this.
So, the resident, it was either a resident that did it or a resident's guest that did it. So ultimately, the community really is at fault to some degree.
Yeah, and my example is simply if we know,
If we know, then yeah.
then we
go
have the
after
ability to chase them.
individuals.
Pursue it.
Yep.
Right.
Interest on the bunker renovation, there's no change to that. We have, what are the 2 annual payments? Or, yeah, 2 payments annually, November and May, I believe. Irrigation water, be able to decrease that by over $600 a month, so that's a nice savings. That's almost, that's $7,800 a year. Just been monitoring that and just being, as cautious and as diligent as we can with it. Irrigation repairs, though, is going to go up. The system's getting older, and we're just, this year, we've had to do a lot of repairs. Most of them electrically with the controllers, and that stuff's not cheap. That stuff's not cheap at all. Lake bank restoration, golf course improvement, no change. We hadn't talked about putting any extra money in there for anything. Well, there is one item in here, but we'll get that soon. License and permits, no change. Mulch and pie straw increased to $2,000 to cover vendor pricing. It's also going to happen with the general fund, common grounds. Office supplies, no change. Payroll, as of right now, and I went to basically 3%. There might be one person in there, Brian, that has a little bit more than that. My second assistant. My payroll increased $12,000 annually, and in payroll, $2,700 in payroll taxes and fees. Pay-related group insurance, well, we got to figure that in now. I don't have that number in here.
Okay.
So that's
We can
just,
sit down, we can sit down.
we got to add that increase. I don't see any change in the 401k match. No change, or labor and benefits, yes, so we're gonna, 34 through 36. Ball field maintenance, the board talked about increasing that, charging the HOA $1,500 a month. I think currently we're $1,250. Just for the cost of,
The gas and the.
gas and, right, it's time for,
Do we need to send them a letter, Chuck? Tell them we're just, if we approve it, it'd be increased to 1,500.
the HOA,
Yeah, just tell them. Because right now they're $1,250 a month.
well, you charge the general fund. Do we actually send a bill to the HOA as well? I'm not aware of that. I know we charge the general fund. It's in your general fund, ball fields. Ball
I was
fields,
in charge of general fund, that's easy, right?
golf maintenance, ball
Left
fields.
pocket, right pocket.
Okay, and that's where that goes?
Yeah.
And that's part of the general fund of the
Of the CDD,
O&M, okay.
which has the same effect, but we do it internally rather than,
Right.
Right. Okay,
Okay. BMP safeties, no change. Small tools, just increased that 2,500. We're starting to get, our backpack blowers, our weed eaters are starting to get older. They're going on 3 years now. We've replaced a couple of hedge trimmers just here recently. So I'm just budgeting, probably like 3 weed eaters, 3 backpack blowers. It's just time. Sod increased to increased sod to $6,000, not $6,000. That's only what I think $1,000 increase. It's for fuel, transportation. Supplies, just increased that $1,000 annually, just for increase in cost of goods. Just covering. It's about a 3%. No change in telephone costs. Top dressing, we're going to increase that to $16,000 annually. Once again, cost of materials and shipping is expected to rise and keep rising. Right now, there's no end in sight. So I'm just trying to, budget for that. Trash removal, we need to increase that by about $600 annually. Same thing, it's going up. Trees and shrubs, no change. Here's a big nut, tree trimming. So I put $10,000 in there. We talked about cleaning out between 11 and 12. this could kind of fall under golf course improvement too, however you want to look at it. Yeah, I think I brought this up early last year. It was, at that time, it was about 8,000. It doesn't have to be in there, but I think it would look nice. You know, I think it'd be nice to do maybe something once a year somewhere. You know, 16's gonna, within 2 years, 16's gonna be one of the most beautiful holes you'll ever want to play, with those trees blooming.
Can I just play that home?
And it'd be nice to clear that out again. I think that would be probably one of the biggest impacts I could figure out. It's just getting that cleared out again, getting all the exotics out, getting everything trimmed. You can see through there.
Kind of like what we did behind the green on 12?
Exactly.
Yeah, that looks really nice.
Exactly.
Absolutely needs to be done.
Yeah. And just, so that's a 10, like I said, that's a big nut.
Is that both sides or just between 11?
No, that's just gonna be in between 11 and 12, but that's from front, that's a long, that's,
Right, we did some cleaning there between the condos.
yes. We could manage the left side. We could get in there and it's gonna take us definitely a lot longer than them, but we could probably manage the left side. There's no way we can manage that, and it's just so much, and those palmettos have gotten so big.
That's thick, yeah.
And part of that's built in, so the 8,000 at the time, I'm figuring, you know, we're gonna have to get a couple extra loads of debris hauled off, and it's $650 a load. You know, I built in some money for the extra loads.
But
John,
I think that needs to be done.
Is that able to be maintained like what's behind 12? I mean, are we going to be able to keep it that way, or would it?
The best we could, yeah, I mean, to a certain extent. It's gonna get ahead of you, you know, every year it's gonna gain on you a little bit as you,
Yeah.
you know, and then in 5, 8, 10 years, you gotta go back.
Yeah.
And, you know, unless somehow we just get a boatload of cash and we can get a man a hole. That's what you want on the golf course on average, is a man a hole, as far as personnel. You know, I'm not saying you just stick a man per hole out there and this is your hole and this is your hole, but that's about, you know, to get everything done efficiently and always, you know. What happens when you don't, you end up doing one project a week. Hey, we're edging bunkers, you know, or we're not doing cart paths, or we're not doing the things. Everything has to have a priority, right? You know, well, but this caught up to this in priority. It looks like we're gonna stop doing bunkers for a minute, or split that crew and just crawl to a progress here and try to get this done, because it has to, you know, and that's what kind of happens, right? You gotta delegate the best you can.
Actually, on that topic, when was the last time we cleaned out 13?
Last fall.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
We do that so we're on a 2-year plan with that. You guys remember?
Yeah, I'm just making sure, because that rears its ugly head.
Yes, we're on a 2-year plan with that, and we did it last fall.
So often.
So this is gonna be, I'm gonna get a lot of phone calls, you know, soon, about this year, because it's not gonna happen. That's both left and right sides there on 13 that we do. And we even did down there on the, that preserve area, Pine Shore area on 15, front right of the fairway where the lake ends, off the tee,
Oh, okay,
down there.
yes,
We did that area too, cleaned that all out. Got that cleaned really well.
okay.
Where were we at here? I'm sorry.
46.
46. Tree removal, no change. There's enough money in there for what I foresee. I don't see anything. Uniforms, don't really see much of a change there. Maybe slightly, it might even go down a little bit, even though we are fully staffed. Wash rack maintenance, I'm expecting that to go up $50 a month. It's about $600 annually. We just had to spend a big nut on this wash rack machine. We have the oldest ESD wastewater system in South Florida, and it's over 22 years old, and we keep it ticking, but we just had to get a new internal pump, a new blower. We spent about $2,500, $3,000 into it. So it should be good for a while, but we had to weld some of the original aluminum fittings. Luckily, Dave knows how to weld aluminum and all that.
What is the washer?
So what it does is we wash all of our equipment off of it. And since we're washing equipment every day, we just put gas in and oil, you know, stuff gets on the mowers, and you don't want to constantly wash that off into a drain. It's going to go to a lake somewhere. So what you do is we have a pad and we wash the equipment off and all the grass with the nitrogen and the fertilizer, and it collects it. It collects the grass on the top and the sand, and then the water goes down there, and it goes through this system. And the system has these baffles, like a honeycomb system in it, and it churns the water. And every week we got to put in these bioorganisms that actually eat the petroleum out of the water. And, then you keep using that same water, it's not you nasty water. And so that way you're saving on water, you're not just using an abundance of water every day washing your equipment, plus you're not washing all your petroleums down into the drain. Basically, pretty much what it is.
Okay, I just didn't know it was.
But like I said, ours is 20, the original. It's 22-something years old. And I think a new one's cost, last I checked, last year was about $35,000-$40,000. Yeah. So, we're good though. I'm just putting this out there. It's my duty, right? I gotta let you know. Like the roof on that chemical building, I have to fix that. There's nothing we can do about it. It has to be done.
We've been
This we
talking
can.
about that chemical building.
Yeah, it has to be done. And we'll get it done, we'll do it in-house, it'll be cheap, we'll get it done cheaper than contracting it, it's just on the price of materials. Water and sewer, no change. And one other thing, so this, we talked about, a truck lease, work truck lease, and we also talked about a loader lease. This doesn't have any of that in it. I haven't had time to get over to, I was just gonna go to Stereo Bay Chevrolet to start out first, just to get an idea. I'm not in a hurry right now. I heard there's not even trucks on lots right now. I haven't looked, but I heard there's nothing to select from. I heard the used market is butted right up to the new market as far as price. It's getting real close. As bad as that Dodge is, I don't even know if this is the time, it's a stupid time to,
I think we need to.
So I'm gonna check with them just to see, maybe there's something, do my due diligence, my fiduciary responsibility. Loader estimate, used loader, about 5 years old with about 2,000 hours, it's gonna cost anywhere from $35,000 to $40,000. I haven't got back, John Deere hasn't got back to me. I asked them to give me a quote for a new loader leased out, capital lease, 6-year, spread it out. I'm waiting on that. Last but not least, so let's go to the common grounds. You also have 2 quotes, one from Everglades Farm Equipment, or Everglades Equipment Group now, and Wesco Turf. These quotes are for new mowers for the common grounds. We have 3 current mowers, one of them's down, so we only have 2 operable. I am not in a position to fix the one that is down because it's going to cost about $1,600 to fix it, and the mower only cost us $3,000 4 years ago. I don't want to throw that kind of money into it. It's not worth it. We've already fixed a lot of stuff on these mowers. We've had to do some customization work to the decks over the years to beef them up, make them stronger. Remember when we did this, we got 3 mowers for like $10,000.
Well, we did it because.
And we said we didn't know what we were gonna do. Let's see how we are 4 years from now. We're still doing this. We didn't want to dump a bunch of money, but now is the time to get some commercial equipment for them.
So that would come out of the general fund.
And the nice thing about this is we wouldn't capitalize these. We'll just lease these out, and that way you get new ones. You got the customer support, the warranties. If there's a problem with them, you come and fix it, because that's usually what happens. You get a capital lease and you pay something off, and then the biggest, most expensive part goes, and it's almost not worth it to fix it. Anything high usage, like I said, I was explaining, I don't think it's worth purchasing, because you're just going to burn through it. You're going to wear and tear it, and lease it. Just pay that. To me, it's better to pay that little bit of the payment every month for something new and in decent shape, and have that support and the warranty.
So John, would you prefer the,
So yeah, let's go on the prices. It's a comparable difference. I was surprised that John Deere came in at that much higher, over $8,000 it seems like. Was it over 8,000 or just under?
Give or take.
Yeah.
Just about 8.
Yeah, about 8,000.
so what's your opinion of the 2?
So the difference between the 2 mowers is the John Deere's have the flatless tires, but that's not a big expense. I mean, we've maybe replaced 4 or 5 tires over 4 years. It's not a huge expense. So that extra money you're paying for that, to me, and I have friends that own their own landscape business, and they have them, and they've said it doesn't really do them. It doesn't save any money. It's a peace of mind. So I think that's where a lot of that's built in, is those tires for those.
$800 a piece.
How much are they?
800 a piece.
800 a piece. And so I don't, they're flatless, but what happened? They break? Something happened to them?
Yep.
See, so that right there, the fact that they can break like that, hopping curves or whatever it may be, I would prefer, in my personal opinion, my professional opinion, I would go with Wesco. We already use them, great relationship. We currently have Toro mowers now. Yeah. These mowers are slightly smaller in the deck, by about 6 inches. We have 54 inch. I want to go to a smaller deck, just because it's less wear and tear on the grass. And
Got some tight spots to get in.
very tight spots, and I don't want guys getting into these, they mow the same way over and over, and you'll get ruts that look like a raccoon trail from into a trash can, and you don't want that, and you're constant. So, you know, if they gotta do an extra pass, good, that means that those tires have moved over, you know. Plus it'll be cheaper in blades and stuff like that, anything steel, the extra cost. So that's it, I think you guys would have to vote on approval on this. It doesn't have to be, you know, this month, or this is what we got for that.
Well, I mean, you're down a mower now.
We are currently down a mower now. Yes, I did, like I said, to fix it, it's gonna cost about $1,600. And we've already replaced the transmission, and it was like $600 2 years ago. It's not worth it. It's not
Well,
worth
is this for now, or is this for?
it. This
budget?
would start in October.
Okay.
We'll just get through the summer, deal with what we got, you know, make it work, and
Okay.
then the plan with the old ones is take the one that's not working currently with the bad transmissions, keep it for parts. For the other parts, we can't use tires, motor parts, engine parts, deck parts, seats, stuff like that. Keep the best one we got, dump the other one.
Okay.
So we would eventually have 4 mowers, one being, you know, just something we could take out and beat on, or, you know, I need to go out and mow your little trail out there on the ball field real quick, you know, and all those kids pulling them limbs and big limbs and stuff off, I run over one and, hey,